Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bold and Beautiful. Today, Brooke gets mad chasing Taylor on Ridge's wedding day. Taylor and Nick losers in love. Ridge rescues Brooke after her accident. Ridge Forrester rides to Brooke Logan's aid after his accident. Let's talk about the future of B&B, as Taylor Hayes and Nick Marone will also fail in the romantic department. Liam Spencer will have another operation the week of July 14th to 18th. Under the supervision of Grace Buckingham. After then, Bill Spencer will do something that only someone like Dollar Bill can do. Liam will be taken from the hospital while unconscious, and we will witness Bill taking matters into his own hands. Bill might opt to transfer Liam to a different facility after learning more about his brain tumor. Bill will undoubtedly want to try, since Liam might benefit from a specialist or some kind of experimental treatment. If Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan discover that Bill is responsible for Liam's hospital disappearance, they may bring him under suspicion during the week of July 21st to 25th. Speaking of disappearances, Luna Nozawa has also done one with Lee Finnegan's covert assistance. Given her upcoming appearances, we know Luna hasn't left the show yet. There are many hints in the program that Lee will allow Luna to heal in concealment while continuing to pretend that she is dead alongside everyone else. Luna will eventually have an opportunity to respond to all that Lee has done for her, which could create a true familial attachment. B&B will premiere a few special episodes that were shot on location in Capri and Naples over the week of July 28th to August 1st. Brooke will be wined and dined by Nick Marone on this Italian vacation, but Ridge Forrester will not approve. It will transform Ridge's perspective and make him realize how much he stands to lose after Brooke has an accident. Ridge will move quickly to save Brooke when she falls in the water, because he will also be in Italy with Eric Forrester. Ridge's engagement to Taylor will not lead to the remarriage she had hoped for, because he will come to the realization that Brooke is his true love. Nick will be in the same situation as Taylor, who will once again lose to fate. Brooke Logan's world momentarily shatter, Ridge Forrester reclaim his primal role as her protector, and leave Taylor Hayes and Nick Marone stranded on the desolate shores of romantic defeat, their hopes dashed against the rocks of a seemingly inescapable destiny. The impending Italian sojourn, filmed amidst the breathtaking vistas of Naples and Capri during the week of July 28th to August 1st, isn't merely a luxurious backdrop, it's a pressure cooker for unresolved passions, a stage where a single, terrifying accident will crystallize truths, shatter engagements, and force the perennial rivals in love to confront the agonizing reality that, once again, their hearts are destined to break while Brooke and Ridge's bond proves indestructible. Little do the players know, as they prepare for this glamorous escape, that the foundations of their carefully constructed lives are already trembling back in Los Angeles. Liam Spencer's fragile existence hangs in the balance as he undergoes another critical surgery under Grace Buckingham's care the week of July 14th to 18th. The aftermath, however, belongs solely to the formidable force of nature that is Bill Spencer. Dollar Bill, ever the maverick, ever convinced his way is the only way, makes a move of staggering audacity. Upon receiving potentially alarming updates about Liam's brain tumor, whispers of dire prognosis or tantalizing whispers of experimental treatments, Bill acts with ruthless paternal instinct. He orchestrates Liam's disappearance from the hospital, spiriting his unconscious son away to an unknown facility. This isn't just medical intervention, it's a declaration of war against fate, bureaucracy, and potentially, Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan's authority. The week of July 21st to 25th promises explosive fallout as Steffi and Hope, frantic and furious, begin to unravel Bill's clandestine operation, putting him squarely on the hot seat. His desperate gamble underscores a theme resonating through the canvas: powerful men taking extreme measures for the women they love, a theme about to reach its zenith in Italy, but leaving collateral damage in its wake. Simultaneously, another disappearance haunts the periphery, Luna Nozawa's, masterminded by the enigmatic Lee Finnegan. While the world mourns Luna's supposed demise, Lee shelters her, weaving an intricate ruse to protect her. This hidden recuperation, a temporary escape from the crushing weight of reality and scandal, stands in stark, ironic contrast to the very public, very perilous escape unfolding in Italy, and foreshadows the temporary reprieves love stories sometimes seek before harsh truths resurface. Luna's eventual return and reckoning with Lee's sacrifice will forge a profound bond, a silver lining born from deception, unlike the bitter disillusionment awaiting others. It's against this backdrop of medical crises and hidden truths that the Italian Idol begins. Brooke Logan, seeking solace or perhaps distraction, finds herself wined and dined under the Mediterranean stars by the ever-persistent Nick Marone. Nick, the perpetual contender in Brooke's romantic arena, sees this getaway as his golden opportunity. Away from the prying eyes and complicated histories of LA, amidst the ancient romance of Italy, he believes he can finally break through Brooke's defenses, convincing her that he is her safe harbor, her true future. He pours on the charm, leveraging the beauty and isolation, hoping the magic of Capri will rewrite the narrative that has always favored Ridge. His confidence is palpable, his determination absolute. He envisions a new beginning, blissfully unaware that destiny has already penned a different, crueler ending for his aspirations. Fate, however, loves a cruel irony. Unbeknownst to Nick, his carefully curated romantic ambush is already compromised. Ridge Forrester isn't back in Los Angeles, he's right there in Italy, accompanying his father, Eric. The sight of Brooke laughing, bathed in Italian moonlight, with Nick Marone of all people, strikes Ridge like a physical blow. Old embers, never truly extinguished, flare instantly into a roaring blaze of possessiveness and unresolved longing. The carefully constructed walls around his heart, fortified by his recent engagement to Taylor Hayes, begin to crack under the visceral weight of seeing Brooke with another man in this most romantic setting. Nick's presence isn't just inconvenient, it's an affront, a catalyst that violently awakens Ridge's dormant but fundamental connection to Brooke. Every smile Brooke gives Nick, every intimate moment Ridge imagines or witnesses, is salt in a very old wound, forcing him to confront the uncomfortable truth that his engagement to Taylor, while comfortable, lacks the consuming fire he shared, and still shares, with Brooke. Then comes the pivotal moment, Brooke's accident. The details are shrouded in the drama yet to unfold, but the essence is clear: a terrifying misstep, a stumble near water, a plunge into the Ionian Sea. Whether a slip on a yacht, a fall from a rocky outcrop, or a struggle amidst the waves, Brooke is suddenly in mortal peril, her life flashing before her eyes. In that instant of pure, unadulterated terror, time distills to its essence. Social niceties, recent resentments, even the commitment to Taylor evaporate. All that remains for Ridge Forrester is a primal, overwhelming imperative: save Brooke. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't calculate. He acts on pure instinct, diving into the water, fighting the current, reaching for the woman who has always been his magnetic north. This isn't just a rescue, it's a resurrection of their core dynamic. Ridge, the knight; Brooke, the woman who ignites his protective fury like no other. He hauls her to safety, the adrenaline pounding, the fear for her life stripping away every pretense, every justification he'd built for choosing Taylor. Holding her, soaking and shaken, feeling the frantic beat of her heart against his, Ridge experiences an epiphany as profound as it is undeniable: Brooke is his true love. This near tragedy isn't just a random event, it's destiny's brutal, undeniable reminder of what he stands to lose forever. The accident becomes the crucible that burns away doubt, leaving only the raw, inescapable truth of Ridge. The fallout is immediate and devastating, a double helix of romantic ruin. For Ridge, the path forward is suddenly, blindingly clear. His engagement to Taylor Hayes, built on a foundation of shared history, comfort, and perhaps a desire to finally move beyond the Brooke-centric chaos, crumbles in the face of this visceral reawakening. He cannot, in good conscience, marry Taylor knowing his heart, soul, and every protective instinct belong irrevocably to Brooke. The ring becomes a symbol of a lie he can no longer sustain. His conversation with Taylor won't be about logistics or cold feet, it will be a painful confession driven by the clarity of almost losing his destiny. Taylor, once again, finds herself standing at the altar of her hopes only to see them dismantled. The remarriage she longed for, the validation of finally winning Ridge fairly, evaporates. It's not just losing Ridge, it's losing to Brooke, again. The specter of their decades-long rivalry rears its head, and Taylor is forced to confront the agonizing possibility that, no matter the circumstances, no matter the temporary victories, she will always be the one Ridge leaves when Brooke's siren call, or peril, sounds. It's a defeat that cuts deeper than any other, echoing every past heartbreak, reinforcing her role as the eternal runner-up in Ridge's tumultuous love story. Destiny, it seems, has its favorite, and Taylor is forced to swallow the bitter pill that hers is not to be with Ridge Forrester. Beside Taylor in the desolate landscape of romantic failure stands Nick Marone, his own Italian dreams lying in ruins. Just as he believed the setting and his persistence were aligning in his favor, Brooke's accident and Ridge's dramatic rescue shatter his illusions. Witnessing Ridge's primal reaction, seeing the raw, unvarnished love and terror in Ridge's eyes as he saved Brooke, followed inevitably by Brooke's own dazed but undeniable gravitational pull towards her rescuer, leaves Nick gutted. He realizes, with crushing finality, that he never stood a chance. His romantic overtures, his carefully planned dinners under the stars, were mere background noise to the deafening symphony of history and destiny playing out between Brooke and Ridge. Brooke's accident didn't create an opening for Nick, it slammed the door shut, proving that in Brooke's moments of greatest vulnerability, it's Ridge she needs, Ridge she turns to, Ridge who moves heaven and earth for her. Nick is left standing alone, the expensive wine suddenly sour, the Italian breeze chilling, a stark loser in love who gambled everything on a love triangle where his corner was always destined to collapse. His boat, like Taylor's, is adrift, swamped by the overwhelming tide of Ridge. Thus, the Italian escape transforms into a crucible of revelation and heartbreak. Brooke's accident serves as the violent catalyst, forcing Ridge to confront the unvarnished truth of his heart and embrace his role as Brooke's eternal protector and partner. For Taylor Hayes, it's the shattering of a fragile dream, another brutal reminder that destiny seems to conspire against her when it comes to Ridge Forrester. For Nick Marone, it's the final, humiliating proof that his pursuit of Brooke was always a quixotic tilt against windmills of history and fate. As the Mediterranean sun sets on Capri, it illuminates not a new beginning for two couples, but the painful end of two dreams, leaving Brooke and Ridge clinging to each other amidst the wreckage, while Taylor and Nick are left to navigate the lonely, familiar waters of defeat, wondering if love, for them, will ever be anything but a losing game when Brooke Logan is involved. The echoes of their loss will resonate long after the Italian tan fades, a poignant testament to the enduring, often destructive, power of a love story that refuses to end. Taylor asks about a wedding date, and Liam signs a wild procedure waiver. Taylor Hayes requested a wedding date, and Liam Spencer signed a waiver for a wacky operation. Taylor discussed the prospect of Brooke Logan joining Ridge and Eric Forrester on their trip to Italy with Donna Logan at the Forrester house. Taylor stated that she trusted Ridge and mentioned that Nick Marone might also be present, but Donna was unsure of how Taylor would truly feel about that. In order to take advantage of Brooke's popularity at Forrester Creations, Eric persuaded her to go on the business trip during Tuesday's B&B episode. After Brooke left the CEO office, Eric extolled the virtues of Italy and encouraged Ridge to take advantage of everything the country had to offer with Brooke. When she showed up in the doorway, Taylor thought she was disturbing something, but Eric played it down before leaving. When Taylor and Ridge were alone, she asked to schedule a wedding date as her final request before he left town. Nick heard about all the shooting drama and went to check on Brooke at the design office. As the topic of conversation finally turned to Brooke's vacation to Italy, Nick inquired as to her whereabouts and forbade her from continuing down this path with Ridge. Nick seemed unconvinced by Brooke's claim that it was business-related, and he eventually persuaded her to accompany him on a flight to Italy. Brooke grinned and appeared intrigued by Nick's offer once he activated the charm. Bill Spencer apologized for releasing Luna from prison in Liam's hospital room, but Liam claimed that it was over and that Luna was no longer there. The topic of conversation shifted to Liam's brain tumor and Bill's wish to do everything within his ability to assist him. Following this near-death encounter, Liam came to the realization that he needed to fight because he wasn't prepared to die. After listening in, Grace Buckingham dragged Bill out of the room so they could talk in private. Grace acknowledged that there might be some hope, and she added that her colleague had created a process that was still in its infancy. Bill was prepared to sign any waivers and pay whatever it required because it might be Liam's only chance. Bill said that he would give her a freaking blank check if it meant saving Liam, despite Grace's warning that it might cost up to $1 million. Grace also emphasized the significance of maintaining silence and said that it was not something that could be done at the hospital. Grace recommended that since Bill was on board, they should move quickly to enlist Liam as well. It didn't take much persuasion once Bill came back to Liam with updates because Liam was undoubtedly amenable to a chance at life. Since Liam had previously been informed that his tumor was incurable, he questioned Grace when she spoke to him next. Although that was true by today's surgical standards, Grace claimed that her colleague was taking novel approaches and providing an experimental procedure. Grace also mentioned that she decided to get in touch with this coworker, who was already in the United States. Although Grace reaffirmed that the procedure could not be performed at the hospital, it may be planned for tomorrow. All of this was kept under wraps because Liam clearly lacked the years necessary for complete approval. Liam stated that he wanted to live and that they should take advantage of this opportunity after Bill begged him not to. She was able to schedule the treatment for tomorrow after Grace informed her about an available surgical center. Liam did sign the paperwork after Grace gave it to him. It probably contained the waiver and any other information he needed to verify. With uplifting music playing in the background, Bill declared that tomorrow will mark the beginning of the rest of Liam's life. Both Liam and Bill were hoping for positive news despite the hazards. Liam Spencer's hospital room, a fragile hope battled against the crushing weight of terminal diagnosis, while across town, within the gilded walls of Forrester Creations and the opulent Forrester Mansion, the perennial dance of love, ambition, and manipulation played out with renewed, almost reckless, vigor. This particular Tuesday became a nexus point, where Liam Spencer, facing oblivion, scrawled his signature on a waiver for a desperate, clandestine medical gamble, and Dr. Taylor Hayes, seeking permanence, made a pivotal request of Ridge Forrester, set a wedding date. These seemingly disparate acts, one a raw fight for survival, the other a bid for romantic security, were threads woven into the same complex tapestry of human vulnerability and desire, forever altering the trajectories of multiple lives. The gravity was palpable in Liam's room. Bill Spencer, the usually indomitable titan, was a portrait of haunted remorse, his shoulders bowed not just by the weight of getting Luna Nozawa out of prison, but by the specter of his son's mortality. Liam, pale but resolute amidst the tubes and monitors, offered quiet absolution regarding Luna. That chapter, fraught with its own pain, was closed. The true battle lay within his own skull. The inoperable brain tumor was a death sentence whispering in his ear. Bill's desperation was visceral, a primal urge to wield his vast power and wealth against an enemy that scoffed at money. "I'll do anything, Liam. Anything," he vowed, the words thick with emotion. It was in this charged atmosphere of impending loss that Grace Buckingham, a specter of potential salvation, eavesdropped before drawing Bill aside. Her revelation was a dangerous lifeline, a colleague pioneering an experimental, early-stage procedure, unapproved, untested on Liam's specific case, existing far outside conventional medical protocols. The risks were monumental, potentially fatal, the cost astronomical, upward of $1 million, Grace cautioned. Bill's response was instantaneous, stripped of all pretense. "I'll give you a freaking blank check." This wasn't business, it was a father's Hail Mary. Grace emphasized the necessity for absolute secrecy. The procedure couldn't happen in the hospital, approvals would take years Liam didn't have. Speed was paramount. Convincing Liam, still reeling from being told his condition was hopeless, required little effort. Faced with the abyss, the near-death experience had crystallized a fierce will to live. "I want to live," Liam declared, the simplicity of the statement belying its profound courage. When Grace presented the daunting waiver, a document acknowledging the terrifying unknowns and relinquishing standard protections, Liam's hand, perhaps trembling internally, moved with decisive purpose. His signature wasn't just ink on paper, it was an act of radical faith, a pact with an uncertain future forged in the crucible of desperation. Bill's declaration, "Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life," resonated with a fragile optimism underscored by the swelling, hopeful score only the universe, or a soap opera, provides, yet the shadow of the wild procedure, its location secret, its science shadowy, its outcome terrifyingly unknown, loomed large. Liam was betting his life on a whispered promise and a blank check. Simultaneously, within the sleek, high-stakes world of Forrester Creations, a different kind of gamble was unfolding, fueled by nostalgia, ambition, and simmering jealousy. Eric Forrester, the patriarch sensing an opportunity both commercial and romantic, was expertly maneuvering Brooke Logan towards accompanying Ridge and himself on a crucial business trip to Italy. Capitalizing on Brooke's enduring popularity there, Eric painted the trip as essential for the company, while subtly, persistently, weaving visions of Italian magic for Ridge and Brooke's benefit. "Enjoy all Italy has to offer," Eric nudged Ridge with a knowing glint, the implication hanging heavily in the air, a chance for rekindled passion far from Los Angeles's prying eyes and complicated entanglements. Brooke, initially hesitant, found herself swayed by Eric's dual appeal to her business sense and, perhaps, the lingering embers of her feelings for Ridge. Her agreement was a tremor felt across the complex's emotional fault lines. This carefully laid plan, however, was immediately challenged. Nick Marone, ever Brooke's protector and a persistent rival for her affections, intercepted her. Having heard about the recent shooting drama involving Steffi and Sheila, his concern was genuine, but it swiftly pivoted to the Italy trip. Seeing Brooke potentially walking back into the gravitational pull of Ridge and the Logan Forrester chaos ignited his protective instincts. "What are you doing?" he demanded, his skepticism palpable. He refused to accept the just business facade, seeing the familiar, dangerous pattern replaying. In a bold countermove, Nick deployed his considerable charm, proposing an alternative escape: fly to Italy with him. His offer wasn't just a vacation suggestion, it was a lifeline thrown to pull Brooke away from the Ridge vortex. Brooke's responding smile, a flicker of genuine interest amidst the confusion, signaled that Nick's gambit had landed, throwing Eric and Ridge's carefully orchestrated trip into delightful disarray and proving Brooke's heart remained a contested territory. The ripples of the Italy trip extended to the Forrester mansion, where Taylor Hayes sought solace and strategy with Donna Logan. Taylor's veneer of serene confidence was tested by the news of Brooke potentially joining the Italy expedition. Donna, ever perceptive, probed gently, "How would you really feel about that, Taylor?" Taylor's insistence that she trusted Ridge felt like a mantra repeated to convince herself as much as Donna. Her deflection towards Nick Marone's possible presence was telling, an attempt to dilute the singular intensity of Brooke and Ridge alone in romantic Italy. This underlying tension propelled Taylor into action at Forrester Creations later. Finding Ridge alone after Eric's departure, she felt an intruder upon a moment heavy with unspoken plans, likely Eric's romantic scheming. Downplaying Eric's exit, Ridge turned his attention to Taylor, unaware of the seismic shift her next words would bring. Seizing the moment before his departure, Taylor, needing to anchor their relationship against the storm clouds gathering over Italy and Brooke's perpetual presence, made her pivotal request: set a wedding date. This wasn't a casual suggestion, it was a strategic demand for commitment, a public declaration meant to fortify their engagement against past ghosts and present threats. She needed the solidity of a date on the calendar, a tangible promise to counter the intangible allure of Italian nights and Brooke Logan's enduring hold on Ridge's history. Her request hung in the air, a direct challenge to Ridge's often fluid loyalties. Thus, Tuesday reached its crescendo. Liam Spencer, in a sterile room filled with beeping machines and desperate love, signed away conventional safety for a sliver of hope, embracing a wild procedure shrouded in secrecy and risk. His signature was a testament to the human instinct to fight, even against impossible odds, fueled by a father's blank check and a newfound will to survive. Meanwhile, Taylor Hayes, amidst the polished glamour of a fashion empire, sought security not in medicine but in matrimony, demanding a wedding date from Ridge as a talisman against the past.